In today's lesson, let us learn when and how to apply the harmonic mean. The harmonic mean is used in a very special scenario when we are trying to find average speeds. Remember those problems from your intermediate algebra class where a ferry or a canoe goes from point A to point B and then returns back to point A? So going downstream, let us say the speed is 45 miles an hour, and then coming back, because this is upstream, the speed goes down to 30 miles an hour. And your task is to find the average speed during this round trip. This is a typical scenario where you would apply the harmonic mean. Now the general formula for the harmonic mean says the harmonic mean for n different objects or n different values is computed as n divided by the sum of the reciprocals of the n values. So 1 over x1 plus 1 over x2 all the way up to plus 1 over xn, where n stands for, in this case, the number, those were supposed to be dots, okay, where n stands for the number of speeds that you are averaging. For us in this scenario, we have two speeds that we have to average. So for us, the average speed, and I'll just sort of do a shorthand here, average speed will be computed as 2 divided by 1 over 45 plus 1 over 30. And you can work this out on your calculator, and you input this into calculator just the way it is written out, except to make sure order of operations goes correctly, you will have to put parentheses around this. So go ahead and input 2 divided by, open parenthesis, 1 divided by 45 plus 1 divided by 30, and you should get your answer as 36 miles per hour. Observe that this 36 miles per hour is a different number from just doing the arithmetic average of 30 and 45. If you just did the arithmetic average of 30 and 45, then 30 plus 45 is 75, and half of that would be 37.5, so you would erroneously say the average speed is 36 miles an hour. But this is the correct speed. How do we know, though, that this is the correct speed? To verify that, we will need a distance. So let's just say the distance from point A to point B, and I'm just making this up to verify that this indeed is the correct average speed. Let us say this distance is 90 miles. If this distance is 90 miles, then at a speed of 45 miles an hour, it took us 2 hours to get there. So 2 hours, the first leg of the journey, maybe I'll just write it here. 2 hours to get there. And then coming back, we are coming back the same 90 miles, but now at a speed of 30 miles an hour. So it takes us 3 hours to come back home. So in our story, the total amount of time we have been traveling is 5 hours. Well, you check it out. If you are traveling for 5 hours at a speed of 36 miles an hour, would you have covered the 180 miles round trip? Let's check. 5 hours at 36 miles per hour. The distance covered would be 5 times 36. And that indeed is the 180 miles that we know was the round trip for this ferry or canoe. That's how we know this is the correct average speed. Now, you do not need a scenario where you necessarily have to go from point A to point B and come back. We could have broken this up and said the person takes a stop halfway. The first leg of the journey is covered at 45 miles an hour. The second leg is covered at 30 miles an hour. What's the average speed? In fact, to apply the harmonic mean, all you need is that the distances are equal. So let's make up another problem. In this second example, I have made up a scenario where we are taking a road trip from point A to point D, but we have planned it such that we will take 2 stops, B and C. The distance from point A to point B, B to C, C to D, they are all equal. The first leg of our journey, we travel at 30 miles an hour. From point B to point C, we travel at 45 miles an hour. The last stretch, we are really getting eager to reach our destination, so we drive at 55 miles an hour. We have traveled at different speeds for each 1/3 of our journey. We want to figure out what is the average speed during this entire road trip. So just like before, we need average speed. Since this is a scenario where we are averaging speeds, we will use the harmonic mean. This time we have 3 speeds to average, so our n is 3. So this time our formula will read 3 divided by 1 over 30 plus 1 over 45 plus 1 over 55. And again, we will need parentheses here when we are putting into our calculators. Let's go ahead and work out what the average speed is. We have 3 divided by, open parenthesis, 1 divided by 30 plus 1 divided by 45 plus 1 divided by 55, close parenthesis, enter, and you should get 40.68. If you drop the 9, you have 40.6849. So really, if you say I'm dropping the 9, so the next one is a 5 and so on, then you would have 40.69, but I'm going to record this as 40.68 miles per hour. That's the average speed during the entire commute. Now, one thing to note, the harmonic mean, while it may be different from the arithmetic mean, it is still a mean. So the average value that you get should be between your smallest and highest values. We know this at least is intuitive. We know, of course, it is correct from the previous example. But we would have been a little wary and checked our work if we got a number less than 30 or greater than 55. So again, remember, pay attention. The number of speeds that you are averaging, that's n, that goes into the numerator, and then in the denominator you need the sum of the reciprocals of the speeds that you are averaging. That is the application of the harmonic mean.